Hey friends, it's Roger coming at you. I'm not coming at you from the bunker of awesome today. I am coming at you from my woodland retreat. I am up at my cabin. It is currently Sunday, November 1st. I don't know if we're posting this today or tomorrow, but this is definitely coming out before Tuesday, aka Election Day here in the United States, aka the noisiest day ever. What we're going to be talking about this week, this is not a political message, but it is definitely scheduled to be timely for what's going on right now. We're going to be talking about controlling the controllables, influencing the influenceables, and then really accepting the rest. I think you'll find that this will be an important message for navigating these next couple of days gracefully and well and in a healthy way. As well as, it's stuff that applies no matter when, but I think it's especially timely right now just because of all the noise that we are experiencing. So hang out with me for a few minutes. Let's go. All right, so kind of forever, we have taught something in our Train Your Brain for Success curriculum that we call the C.I.A. model. We talk about it all over the place. I write about it in Train Your Brain for Success. And when we draw it out, it looks like a series of concentric circles. The smallest one, I'll put it over here. The smallest one, C, slightly bigger, I, biggest one of all is A. CIA stands for control, influence, and accept. There are a small number of things in our lives that you can control, a few more that you have influence over. You don't have total control, but you do have influence. And then the rest of it, we've learned that for your own productivity and mental performance, that if you learn to accept and even embrace everything else, just everything goes so much better. So let's just analyze this a little bit here, right? Let's work largest to smallest. First of all, there's things that you've got to accept. Listen, there's a bunch of stuff in our world that you literally have zero control over and zero influence over. What I've always talked about as sort of the big ones in this is, like, if you think about weather, you think about traffic patterns, you think about the outcome of sporting events that you're not actually involved in. You don't control those at all. You have no influence over those things. And yet, holy cow, do people get worked up over it? People spend a lot of energy thinking about those things and really getting upset about them. And I'll tell you that's just, if you're going to do that, that's a huge energy drain. Stuff that you just don't have influence over at all, you're going to be best served if you learn to accept it. And the more eagerly you can embrace and accept those types of things for what they are, better off you're going to be. I stands for influence, as we said. There's quite a few things that you have influence. You don't have direct control over, but you do have influence over them. You can impact things like the people in your life, your customers, your coworkers, your family members. You have influence. You don't control people. If you think you control people, you got another thing coming. But you do have influence over the people that you encounter. Okay? You have influence over your own physical surroundings, right? You have influence over, like, how clean your desk is. You have influence over how hard you work. You have influence over your thoughts. There's quite a few things that you actually can impact. And what I would tell you is that when you influence the influenceables. Like, when you exercise the influence that you do have, it makes it much easier to feel clean enough to accept the things that you can't influence, right? And then there's control, right? The principle of what to do with the controllables is the same as the influenceables. You want to control the controllables, but the truth of the matter is that's just a very, very small list. There's really only one or two things that we have direct control over. It's our actions and our choices. I used to say that we have control over our thoughts, but dude, I don't have any. I have very little. I have influence over my thoughts, but I do not control my thoughts. I have random thoughts all the time. But you have influence over those. But what you do control is you control your choices, and you control your actions, right? This is where the whole concept of what we call the power hour comes from. You have a very high degree of influence and probably over even control over how you start your day. The first thoughts and actions that you have in your day, you have a high degree of influence and maybe even total control over that, because that's why we always, that's one of the reasons why we like to focus on waking up the right way if you want to get the best out of yourself and get the best out of your business. But work to control those things, your choices, your actions, and that doing that actually gives you more influence over the things that you can influence, which then allows you to relax and feel the acceptance of what you just have no impact over. So let's give you an example of what's going on this week, right? We've got this I called it the noisiest day ever. And I don't think I'm exaggerating that much. Certainly for me, anyways, in the last, 15, 20 years, I've never experienced anything with as much noise surrounding it as this election that we've got. That's, votes getting counted on Tuesday. This particular election and this particular climate with these two particular candidates in this particular year has just added up to something that, it's really easy to be impacted negatively by it, but you don't need to. So watch this. Control, influence, and accept. What do you control in that scenario this week? You control your choice, right? Like, it's up to you to decide who you can vote for. And then it's also up to you to go and cast that vote, right? In this case, the casting of your vote is what allows you to exercise the influence that you do have, right? Now, you could also, if you wanted to exert a little more influence, if you feel called to it, sure, you could work the phones, work at the polling station, you could take some people with you maybe to vote if they haven't already. Like, you can exercise some influence through your vote, and how, if you want to influence other people to get out and vote too, like, you can have influence there, and then you know what? The result's going to be what it's going to be. You do what you can, and then learn to embrace the result, even if it's not the results that you think that you want, right? So this applies in a lot of ways in your life. I'm sure that you can see it. I don't want to make this too lengthy and crazy of a video, but I would love to talk with you about this. If you're kind of looking for, hey, where do I have control and influence, and what are the things in my world that I just really could benefit from accepting? If you'd like to have a conversation about that with me or one of our team members, listen, just reach out. I'm always open to that. I always say this in these videos: if we can help you in a more intimate way, in a more personal way, just please let me know. Shoot us an email, give us a call, like the blog, comment on the blog. Just get in touch with us, and we'll talk it out. We'll get to work on it. I hope that this has been a good video for you. I hope it's helped you kind of get a little bit of an idea of some things that can help you calm down and not get swirled up in all the everything that's going on right now. And I just hope that you have an awesome week. Be good.